But I'd like to welcome everybody on behalf of the Ocean City Free Public Library. My name is Julie Howard, and we have our virtual lecture series this evening, and with the wonderful Christine Zellers, as you can see here from Rutgers Cooperative Extension of Cape May County, Family and Community Health Sciences Department, and she will be talking about mindful meditation and stress reduction. And we are always so grateful to have her with our library. She shares wonderful information, does great research, and we're fortunate that she's sharing this with us tonight. As you can see, the program is being recorded, will be available afterward, and she'll talk more about how you can put questions in the chat box to be answered at the end. But for now, I just want to say thank you to Christine and thank you to all of you for joining us tonight, and I'll turn it over to her.
Thanks so much, Julie. Thank you for having me. It's always such a pleasure to work with Julie from the Ocean City Library and working with the Ocean City Library. I was thinking tonight as I was driving home, it was just about 2 years ago to the day that we were having a discussion in an in-person event, and Julie was asking me what I knew about this virus that was out. So that was 2 years ago that we were doing in person. Remember that? Yes.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, so I'm glad to be back, and I always appreciate Julie's hospitality and her wonderful organizational skills in getting all these programs off the ground. So thank you for having me. Like Julie said, I am the Assistant Professor Educator for Rutgers Cooperative Extension of Cape May County Family and Community Health Sciences Department. And to give you a little bit of background, if you don't know about Rutgers Cooperative Extension, it is part of the New Jersey Agricultural Experiment Station. Rutgers is a land-grant university, which means that we have cooperative extension services throughout New Jersey to support the community with educational information that's scientifically research based. Rutgers Cooperative Extension, Rutgers Cooperative Extension is a partnership between the Board of County Commissioners, Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey, and USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture. We have faculty and or staff in 21 of the 21 New Jersey counties, and we're composed of 3 departments, which include agriculture and natural resources, 4-H youth development, and then family and community health sciences, or FCHS as we call ourselves. So my department, FCHS, provides outreach in New Jersey and beyond on topics related to nutrition, chronic disease prevention, food safety, and overall wellness. I hope that you'll take the opportunity to visit our website for nutrition and wellness related resources and follow us on social media. And at the end of the presentation, I'm going to give you all those websites and social media handles so that if you are not already following us or going to our website, then you can take the opportunity to do so and get more information. Rutgers Cooperative Extension is also an affirmative action equal opportunity employer. Its programs and materials are open to all without regard to race, color, national origin, gender identity, religion, or age, height, weight, disability, political beliefs, sexual orientation, marital status, family status, or veteran status. So let's get started with talking a little bit about mindful meditation tonight and using it for stress reduction. In the presentation tonight, we have 3 objectives. We're going to talk about the health benefits of mindful meditation. We're going to talk about easy starting points to help get you started. I'm going to introduce you to a quick exercise that you can do anytime, anywhere in a minute. And then we're going to talk about tips for reducing stress with mindful meditation. And I'd like to discuss what mindful meditation is and give you a background and hopefully make you understand that a healthy mindful practice, it might not be as daunting as you might think, or if you're already doing a mindful meditation practice regularly, hopefully you will have some ideas that, grow from what we talk about tonight. As Julie mentioned, we have the chat open and you're welcome to add questions into the chat that I will gladly answer. If you, Julie is going to go ahead and launch the poll for me now. So we have some initial questions in the poll. These questions are really helpful to me and the university for knowing how we're doing with reaching the community that we serve. And Rutgers Cooperative Extension is charged with serving the community. So we want to make sure we're reaching all of our audience as best we can and get your interest there. So if you could answer the poll questions for us really quickly, that would be wonderful. And I'm also going to give you the opportunity, if you want to take your phone out, If you open the camera on your phone and hold it up to the computer screen where that QR code is, it'll automatically open in your browser the survey link for our survey that goes right to the university. I do see the answers, but they're not connected with your name in any way. And Julie's going to put in the chat a link. So if you just want to click the link, you can do that too. So you can use the QR code and you can use the link. And what I've started doing to encourage people to answer the questions in this evaluation, which really only takes about 2 minutes, it gives us the opportunity again to know how we're doing and what you're interested in. It also really gives me the opportunity to know what other topics you want to hear about. So if you go ahead and take that survey, at the end, it gives you the opportunity to add your email address. If you would like to be entered for a drawing to win a prize, then you can put your email address in there, and it won't associate to your answers, but it will give us your email address so you can be entered for that prize. And I will say we just got the results back from the fall or the winter surveys, and we do have some names that are being pulled. This probably early next week we'll pull for prizes, so you might be contacted to get a prize. And I do so much enjoy your responses to the questions and what you're interested in, and I read them. I had one in regards to the DASH diet presentation that I did, and the person very, very adorably wrote NA, haha, a sodium joke. So I got a big kick out of that. So I do read them, and I appreciate all that you have to say in those comments. So thank you in advance for doing that. And you can wait till the end of the presentation, obviously, to do that. All right, so I'd like to start out, like I said, by giving you an example of a short breath meditation. And if you've never practiced meditation before, this may seem a little bit foreign to you, but as I go through the program and I explain a little bit more, you'll understand more about the process if it's new to you. As I'm introducing what we're going to be doing, it's important for you to now find a comfortable position, sitting in a chair with your neck straight, and make sure that you're not slouching forward. You don't want to be like this. You want to be nice and straight up and down, feet on the floor. You don't want your legs crossed, or if you like, you could lie on the floor on a mat or a yoga mat or a blanket. And if you've meditated before and you're familiar and enjoy the lotus position, which I'll again discuss later, if you don't know what that is, then you can take the lotus position for this meditation. Take a few minutes as I talk and explain a little bit more to just get yourself settled, and I'll give you a few more directions. There's really no wrong or right way to do this. Thoughts are going to be normal while you're having this quiet time, and they'll come to your mind. So as they come to your mind, try to just gently excuse them and return to meditating again. And again, we'll talk a little bit more about ways to do this that would be easier as you learn the process and the practice. It may help you if you're beginning to focus on your breath as an anchor. So just bring yourself back to that breath if you find yourself with your mind wandering. If your mind wanders, simply focus it, return to breathing. Your breathing should be natural, and it should occur at your own pace. I placed a sunrise photo here on the screen, and you can close your eyes. Nobody can see you on camera. So I'm the only one that's on camera. We're being recorded. So you may close your eyes, or you can direct your gaze down, or you may look at the beautiful picture of the sunset and focus your gaze there if that is something that you're interested in doing. Because mindful meditation has been shown to reduce blood pressure, heart rate, and help a person develop slow breathing, it's very common to experience slight lightheadedness, dizziness, or visual blurring after meditating. Usually this experience comes when you're doing a very deep meditation or longer meditation. So it's not likely you will get it tonight, but I just wanted to mention it in case it does happen to you, that you're not alarmed. It's very similar to what you may experience after a relaxing massage. So don't panic. It is normal, like I said. And just allow yourself some time at the end when we're finished here to open your eyes slowly and let your body gently awaken from the deep relaxation that you might encounter. And also don't obviously get up and walk right away after you do it if you're in that state of being in a very deep relaxation. Okay, so now you've heard more about what we're going to do. So you should be in your position, either lying on the floor, sitting straight up in your chair, or in the lotus position. And I realize again that you might not be that familiar with the poses, but I'll give a little bit more information during the presentation on this. If you're a beginner, or even for somebody that's experienced this before, sitting in the chair, shoulders are kind of back or on the edge of the chair, but you want to make sure that you're straight up and down and your feet are flat on the floor, and then your hands are down at your side. What I want you to do is notice how your body feels while sitting, standing, or lying right now. And again, your gaze is down, or your eyes are shut, or you can be gazing at the screen. You can quietly change your posture at any time if you begin to feel discomfort. Let's start by taking one deep breath in together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, if your eyes are not already closed, it's time to gently close your eyes, and you need to begin noticing your breath pattern. Follow the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your body. Continue to breathe slowly for the next few minutes. Notice when your mind has wandered. It is unavoidable that your mind will wander, and take focus away from your breath. When you notice your mind and your thoughts wandering, simply return your attention to your breathing. All right, we're going to return to the presentation now, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths together, in through the nose and out through the mouth. When you're ready, slowly move your gaze from the picture or open your eyes and take a moment. As you can see, this was a very brief meditation that allowed you to focus on your breath and calm your mind. This is very helpful in many ways, which we'll discuss during the presentation. And remember this meditation so that you can use it again to prepare for a stressful situation or after dealing with one even. Obviously, you can extend the amount of time that you do this, but focusing on your breathing really gives you the ability to refocus yourself, relieve some stress, and feel revitalized. When we have department meetings for my department, when we were in person, sometimes we would do these guided meditation like that in between the lunch break and starting the meeting back up, just to give us a little bit of time to refocus and concentrate as the meeting went on. We'll do another one at the end that's a little bit different. I'm just trying to give you some ideas of things that you could do on your own and that you will find useful for stress relief. I wanted to start out today with simple breathing meditation so that you could take time for yourself and allow yourself to clear your mind as you watch this presentation and learn. We'll do another one, like I said, at the end of the program. And you may find you enjoy one over another form because everybody's different. So I know my personal favorite is the body scan, which we're going to do later. But there's a lot of them out there. So you just might have to play around a little bit to find what you find that relaxation point with. And it can be as simple as something like we just did by just like sitting still, turning off all of your electronic devices and just being quiet and still with your breathing. So let's talk about mindfulness. The term mindfulness is used in many ways in today's society. Dr. John Kabat-Zinn defines mindfulness as paying attention in a particular way, so on purpose, in the present moment, and non-judgmentally. An example, if we were going to speak of a form of mindfulness, maybe we would talk about mindful eating, which maybe you've heard of. It would mean eating with nothing but eating happening. No electronics, no TV or reading to distract you from the act of actually consuming the food. It would mean not only tasting the food, but realizing the texture, the smell, if it was hot or cold, and the act of chewing in that moment. Likewise, it would mean being non-judgmental about what you are eating. So enjoying that moment and recognizing everything that's involved in it just for the act of eating and being very positive in it. So you want to try to remain positive when you're doing some type of mindful activity, because that reinforces that stress release. Instead of thinking to yourself, oh, this salad, I don't like salad. It's tasteless. Try to think about a positive thing like the nourishment it's giving your body, or perhaps how crunchy or crispy it is, and how it tastes, rather than trying to find a negative thing about it. So just again, reinforcing that positive nature of what you're doing and being mindful. If you've never practiced mindful meditation, then the breathing meditation may have been difficult for you that we just did. Try to remember as you use this technique to reduce stress that it does take practice. Being kind to yourself and not having thoughts pop into your head. These are all things that we need to take practice with, because a lot of times our brain redirects what we're thinking into a negative way, and that contributes to some of the stress that we feel during the day. So as we go through the discussion tonight, you'll learn more techniques and ideas as to why mindful meditation can be a positive addition to your life and reduce the stress that you might be feeling already. According to Patel, Jewell, and Rhodes, who wrote Mindfulness Activity Guide for Adults, mindfulness has many different definitions and can have a different interpretation and effect on each individual. They say when we give our mind and body the opportunity to experience mindfulness through awareness, appreciation, curiosity, and kindness to oneself and others, it can create an enlightened, reflective, and optimistic experience. Think about that definition as we move through the class tonight, and try to use it to support yourself and your practice as you move forward of relieving stress through mindful meditation. When I first started taking a training on how to teach mindful meditation, several of the people that I told I was doing, first they know, and if you've ever been on one of my presentations, I'm pretty high energy, so it's hard for me to quiet down, so I understand that aspect of meditating being hard for people. So they were probably a little surprised that I was taking this class to learn how to teach people meditation to start with. But they also said that they would like to learn how to do meditation, because when they do it, they can't stop the thoughts from racing into their head. So they felt like, meditating was always something that they had to wash their mind clear and have a clean slate to do. And I felt like that too when I first started learning. But mindful meditation really does not have that same attribute. It's a formal mindfulness practice, but it's really meant to strengthen the present moment awareness. So put us in the moment. And if you think about it, it's kind of like a weight-bearing exercise for your mind. So you need to do it a lot. It strengthens your mind and improves your stamina to focus in the now. So practicing it, you'll get a little bit better at it. I find as I do it, the more I do it, I am better at it. But there's times when it's just really hard for me. So again, be positive, give yourself a break if you need to, and think about it from the standpoint that your mind does not have to be a clean slate, does not have to be empty, because that's not really natural to happen in our minds. Our minds are made to think. But you want to try to take the approach that, it's there for you to get in the now. As I said, people often think of meditating as thinking of nothing and not allowing any thoughts to pop into your mind. The practice of mindful meditation allows for what is natural. Again, that's thinking. Our minds are made to think. Our minds are really always constantly thinking. And I would wager that when you did this mindful meditation in the beginning, the breathing exercise, your mind might have been really active and moving around a lot and thinking things and having things rush into the thought while you were trying to do that breathing exercise. It's natural. And rather than stressing about it, trying to acknowledge it and not expand on it, but rather let it go. So if something pops in your head while you're doing a mindful meditation, say it's the laundry. You're sitting there quietly, you're trying to focus and let everything go. And all of a sudden you think, oh, I forgot to turn the laundry into the dryer, the wash into the dryer. I got to do that. So that pops into your head. So instead of thinking and obsessing on that and focusing on it, try to just push it to the background and refocus on your breathing. And the breathing is a really good anchor for you to be able to use to come back to, so that you can kind of wash those ideas that pop into your head, which is going to happen, out, and you can focus on something simple like your breath. You could also, if you're outside, you could think about the feeling of your skin, like the breeze. If you're inside, just the feeling of your skin too. Simple things that will keep your mind coming back or anchored, so that you can kind of train your body both to get away from that thought and focus on the now and what you're doing now. Again, the practice of it takes a little bit of time. And if you were practicing, if you were going to run a 5K, you obviously would not just, throw on a pair of sneakers that you just bought and go out and start running a 5K. You would train a little bit for it. So you want to think of that, the mindful meditation practice that way too. You might want to start out with something that's a little bit more simple, and then move into things that are a little bit heavier for you as you get used to it and you've practiced a little bit and trained your mind to be able to take that pause. Now that we know a little bit about what mindful meditation is, let's talk a little bit about the health benefits of it, right? So it's a really good way to offer ourselves a way to ground ourselves in mindfulness. But the practice of mindfulness itself is going to be different for each person. Each person on this call is likely to have an outcome which is made, a different outcome from it or benefit from it. And that because everybody has a different outcome and it's really hard to pinpoint, it's been hard to summarize in studies. However, Davis and Hayes did a review of several mindfulness practices back in 2011, and they concluded the use of mindfulness to improve emotional resilience and physical health can really positively influence your overall well-being. So they took a look at all the different studies because, they kind of studied the gamut and they came to this conclusion from all the different ones that are out there that the health benefits are there and it really contributes to your overall well-being. Going back to Patel, Jules, and Rhodes from the Maryland Cooperative Extension in their Mindful Activities Guide for Adults, they said regular mindful meditation practice can have significant improvements on both your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Physical well-being that might help from this practice include boosting the immune system, better ability to manage chronic pain, as well as chronic disease. It allows you to avoid stress eating and emotional eating, and that can support a healthier weight, maintaining a healthier weight overall. It also helps to manage substance use disorder and other addictions. And mindful practices foster an overall healthier lifestyle, and awareness of your body and mind take the forefront. And this can also improve your sleep too and help with sleep. Mental and emotional well-being are also supported by mindful meditation as it reduces stress, anxiety, and depression symptoms and improves focus. So, I know for myself, I have anxiety. I also sometimes have a hard time focusing. So it's been very helpful in that regard in helping to focus. So if that's something that you're coping with, then the mindful meditation practice might be very useful for you. It also helps us to adapt to varying circumstances because it improves our cognitive flexibility. It reduces the likelihood of an emotional reactivity that we don't mean to have, an outburst or something like that, or a quick reaction. And it nurtures your ability for self-compassion and self-acceptance. And it improves your ability to balance work and life a little bit better. It's a big list of benefits, but it supports the fact that giving mindful meditation a try may really support your overall well-being. The list of benefits varies greatly, and it could improve your personal and professional life on many levels to reduce stress at work and personally. This is how my brain feels sometimes. I'm that person the memes made about that I have 19 tabs open on my computer and I don't know where the music's coming from. Well, usually that's my brain. There's 19 tabs open in my brain and somewhere there's a song playing in there. But this is the way I feel often. And I know it's an overwhelming world that we live in. So let's talk about that fight or flight instinct that we get because we have all this stuff going on all the time. And fight or flight instinct is a beneficial thing. It's built into our hardwiring because it keeps us safe from harm. And it gives us a way to react instantaneously so we don't get hurt. But having it all the time, having that fight or flight sensation all the time can really be contributing to more stress in your life. So we want to take a look at a way that we can maybe quiet down the brain, calm it down so that you don't have so many things going on at the same time. Because too much stress in our lives can cause us to feel overwhelmed. It can give us burnout, or it might make us feel anxious. So let's look at stress and how we can use mindful meditation to reduce our stress levels to help our overall sense of well-being. First, we want to talk about how our bodies are conditioned through nature's response from a frightening or scary situation. And for instance, that could be, I use the example all the time of a bear. So you see a bear in your backyard, which some people here in New Jersey do sometimes see bears in their backyard, and you're in the backyard and you turn around and there's a big brown bear. So your natural instinctual hard wiring is, I have to either fight this bear to survive or I have to get out of here. So fight or flight, run or fight. And this fight or flight mode in our brains shows us that we can instinctually react to keep ourselves safe from harm. But the natural response was learned as part of survival. And that really holds true to a certain degree today. But obviously, we're not running into a lot of bears anymore, like maybe way back when they were. But we still become stressed on this basis. And so when we become stressed on this fight or flight basis, and then we react in a certain way. So let's use an example. Most people get emails nowadays, right? So maybe there's that one email you got one time that really, got under your skin. You really didn't like the tone of it. It ended up being a problem for you. It brought up a bad situation or whatever it was, but you just didn't like this email. Well, now every time you get an email from that person or a tone of voice from somebody that's in that way, it's liable to create stress for you because it's enacting that fight or flight response. So maybe you respond to the email nasty, that's not in your character, or maybe you don't respond to it at all. So you fight back or you flight. But those continual fight or flight responses, they really cause a lot of stress in our lives. And having the ability to close down or pause, you'll hear me say pause a lot, by doing mindful meditation really gives our body the ability to deal with those situations and not become angry the next time when you get a similar email. It gives you an ability to not be in a constant state of stress. And that constant state of stress can cause us physical aches and pains. It could make it hard to focus. It can give us a bad or short temper. So it can cause us to react really quickly and inappropriate to minor situations. So if you're finding yourself reacting really quickly to situations or really high stressed all the time, this mindful meditation will give you that time to just kind of quiet down the mind, take all those tabs out of your brain for a little bit and kind of deal with that fight or flight response in a way that is beneficial to you through mindful meditation. So here on the right, I've listed again the findings of Davis and Hayes's review of mindfulness studies and the outcomes of the physical and emotional benefits of mindfulness meditation on the right. So it's a really long list and a lot of potentially favorable outcomes that it can occur from taking time out of your day to spend with mindful meditation. If you recall in the beginning of the presentation, I gave a definition of mindful meditation from Dr. Jon Kabat-Zinn, who defined mindfulness as paying attention in a particular way on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally. He goes on to say mindfulness is awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment and non-judgmentally to the unfolding of experience moment by moment. So what he's saying there a couple of times is that it's on purpose. It's you're paying attention on purpose. You're in the moment and you're non-judgmental. And remember, I said we wanted to be positive, try to focus, remove the things that are floating in our head, and bring everything back to that center with breathing or the feel of our skin. Allowing ourselves to simply observe the body and its thoughts and feelings as events in the mind and not having that fight or flight reaction all the time really gives us the ability to respond to situations in a more meaningful way instead of defaulting to the fight or flight mode right away. And this too allows for the more acceptance, it allows us to have more acceptance of the way that we feel and allows us to approach stressful things in our life with a more positive and kind and appreciative way, not just towards our others, but also towards ourselves. And being able to handle stress better with this pause that I've mentioned a few times, as Patel, Jewell, and Rhodes call it, it allows us better stress reduction and it allows us to live a more pleasant life. And who can, right now, we definitely all could use a little bit of pleasantness in our lives. I'm sure we've been through a lot in the last few years and it's continuing. So having this ability to kind of quiet ourselves down is really beneficial overall. Now that we know about the mental and physical health benefits of mindful meditation, getting started with mindful meditation means locating a source that assists you and supports you. I'm going to make some suggestions on how to find resources that are free at the end of the presentation, and then I'll also email them out to you. And in the meantime, consider blocking off some time each day that you feel would be good for yourself. And instead of making excuses to not do it, make it a priority so that these health benefits can come through to you. And you can, again, practice it and consider it a kind gift to yourself by blocking time out in your schedule. And once you've blocked off that time to practice, try out the different practices to see which one's best for you, to see what you enjoy the most. You don't need to spend a lot of money to do this. You don't need to search all over the internet. You can even do this on your own. Like think about the first one we did, the breathing meditation. You could do that all by yourself at home. Turn off your phone, turn off the computer, sit in a quiet space, let the family know or whoever you live with know, I'm going to do a mindful meditation right now. And you can just guide yourself through that breathing process. And if that thing pops back into your head, the laundry pops back in your head, breathe it out by paying attention to your breath, okay? It's worth noting that sometimes people who practice mindful meditation may feel emotional. It may bring up some emotions for you. And if this happens, remember, there's no right or wrong to this. And it might be your way of coping with the awareness that you're creating from this practice. And that could very well be a good thing, even though you're feeling a little bit emotional. So take it in stride and realize, what's going on with your body. So again, you don't need to spend a lot of time or a lot of money, for this practice. It can be done anywhere at any time. I discussed in the beginning some popular poses for mindful meditation, which include the lotus pose, which is shown here. And this is a yoga pose. And if it's comfortable for you, it's a good example of a position you could take to practice mindful meditation. Walking is another way to practice mindful meditation, but I'm going to just caution you to realize that you're moving and that you want to make sure that you have an even walking ground and it's a safe place for you to do it if you're doing walking meditation. And you want to make sure that the ground's flat and even and everything. You also could do a sitting or lying down meditation. And usually when sitting, you want to sit on the edge of the chair, as I said early on. Personally, for me, I like to sit back against the chair just to support my back. But they say you can sit up in the front, or if you need to support your back, you can sit in the back. But again, you want to be upright so that you're not slouching forward, but your spine's kind of aligned there from your head down to your tailbone. And you want to have your hands down at the side and make sure that your feet are flat on the floor if you're doing the sitting meditation. Lying down is also another option. And as I mentioned earlier, you could use a yoga mat or on a blanket on the floor. And usually when people do that on the floor, they do what's called corpse pose. And corpse pose is when you're laying with your hands at your side and your palms would be up towards the ceiling or sky. And then your feet are straight out with your toes relaxed off to the side. And it's often recommended to lie on the floor or a yoga mat, but not take time away from where you sleep in a bed by doing it there, because then it could cause your body disruption. You might fall asleep or something like that. So it is better to do it on a yoga mat or the floor if you can do that. If you have to do it in your bed, that's fine. But it's always good to keep sleep separate from other activities that you're doing. And just a word about that. When I started practicing mindful meditation, I became so relaxed that I kept falling asleep. So I catch myself falling, I'm knocking my head, snapping my neck as I'm falling asleep. That's fine. If you catch yourself falling asleep because you become so relaxed, that's a great thing. But try to just pull yourself back to your breath. Don't beat yourself up over it. Recognize that you can just keep going, and you can pull yourself back out of it and you can keep going. And again, I mentioned before, and I'm going to say it again, you're going to want to make sure that you find a practice that's comfortable for you, a position that's comfortable for you, and an area to do it in that is comfortable for you. So they're all up for your choices and what you're going to do. I'm just going to put this back up again for the survey. If anybody didn't get a chance to hold the QR code up to get the link out, to do the evaluation, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you leave your email address on there, you'll be entered to win a prize for that. So I hope that you'll go and take the survey. I'm gonna save the final meditation for the end. So that's gonna take us a few minutes, but I wanted to kind of be quiet and let everybody have their time. And we can answer questions after the mindful meditation, but I wanted to kind of wrap things up speaking wise, just so it was a little bit more relaxing and you maybe could settle in for the night and have your mind cleared for the night. So I'm going to talk a little bit about other mindfulness contexts besides just meditation. And you'll hear the word, mindful eating and all different things, but they're all good stress reduction tools to be aware and be in the present. And if you think about all the things that we do in a day, emails and text messages and voicemails and phone calls, and we have so much going on. So any form of mindfulness that you can use to reduce your stress could be helpful. And again, remember, we're being purposeful, we're being in the moment, and we're recognizing what's going on around us. So other mindfulness contexts that we can talk about are slow, uninterrupted meals, meaning mindful eating. And these meals allow you to enjoy the meal through the taste, texture, and smell, and another way to be mindful in your daily life. Being mindful as we eat can assist with realizing when we're full much easier. So we're not eating really quickly, watching TV, and not even recognizing the fact that we're full, versus rushing through a meal, so we realize when we are full. And doing this could really help us to maintain a healthy weight, because it gives us a realization about where we are with our eating. You can also be mindful by taking a few minutes in nature every day. Nature has a wonderful healing effect on our bodies and minds, and it's refreshing. And you could go out and feel the cool breeze, or maybe a wet dew, or even the sunshine on your face. There's so many things that you can get from nature. Just even standing and listening to the sound of your feet walking on the ground can be mindful. It's a good experience, positive experience, a good way to be mindful. And again, take that purposeful moment of a break. The gratitude journal is another great way. Things that we're grateful for, you can do it in your head. You don't have to write it down, but if you think every day things that you're grateful for and being mindful, it can help to outweigh some of those things that we are so weighed down with right now due to the nature of the world around us. So it could give us that ability to know what we're grateful for and take appreciation in that, and be kind and positive toward yourself and others. And then mindful listening could really be helpful too. If you put on all the time I'll go on and Google, meditative music, and there's a lot of things on the internet for free that you can put on, and you can just listen. So just sit and listen and do mindful listening, which will help with your listening skills overall. But you could maybe just listen to the music and think, okay, I'm going to listen for something. So maybe listen for a bong going, like a dong, dong, or something like that. So just be in the moment and listening, which again will allow you to calm yourself and focus the mind and reduce stress. May is Julie, if you want to release that last poll, that would be great. We can get that started now before we do the meditation. If you guys could take a minute to do the poll, that would be great, this final poll. I just wanted to let you know too, that May is Mindfulness Month. So that's coming up. And if you go to our Facebook page, we're going to have a calendar up we have one up actually right now in March for Living Well Month. So there's a calendar you can check out on our Facebook now there. But if you go in May, we're going to have a mindful calendar. So it'll give you tips on things that you can do every day, little tidbits of things that you could do to be a little bit more mindful and have that ability to create that practice of being more aware and in the moment throughout the day. So you're welcome to do that. And I'll show you. Oh, these are the resources. And like I said, I will send these out. These are resources that you can use. And I'm going to send them out afterwards. Good links to the links I'm going to send out will be for University of California at San Diego, Center for Mindfulness, Ohio University's Guided Meditation and Walking Meditation with Jack Kornfield. And they're just a few of these. There's also some free apps. If you're already using a Fitbit, their app sometimes has free meditation on it because everybody's really starting to realize the benefit of that quietness and having time to reflect and during the day. So I'll send these out, like I said, at the end, but they're there. And then at the end of the presentation, I will put up our Facebook and web page so that you can go there and check out the calendars if you're interested in doing that. All right, so to finish up the class tonight, I just want to take a few minutes and do a body scan meditation, which, as I mentioned before, is really my favorite, because it really allows me to focus on the meditation and follow it a little bit more easily. So again, I have that really busy mind. And so I'm thinking all those things rushing into my head the whole time. And by focusing in on a part of my body, it gives me the ability to have a little bit more concentration. So I'm hoping that giving you a few examples tonight will really allow you to pick one that you like or search for one that might be better for you or good for you and to meet your needs. So let's take a minute and get started in a comfortable position like we did in the beginning. And hopefully you have a little bit more insight now as to the types of positions and things like that. You can sit in a chair with your neck straight and make sure that you're not slouching forward in the chair. You want to sit back in the chair or on the edge upright, or you could lie down on the floor or in the lotus position. And remember, there's no wrong or right way. It's where you're comfortable. Thoughts are normal and they're going to come into your mind. Just try to get a hold of them and gently excuse them so that you can return to your time of meditation, your time of quiet time. It may help if you're beginning to focus on your breath as an anchor. So think of that in and out breath that we did with the other meditation, and that's at your pace. If your mind wanders to a thought, simply go back to focusing on that breath. Your breathing should be natural and at your pace, your own pace. Again, there's another picture of a sunrise on the screen, and you may direct your gaze down. You can direct your gaze at this photo, or if it's more comfortable, you can close your eyes and nobody's going to see you on camera, remember, so you can do whichever is comfortable for you. We'll be doing the body scan. It's a very short one. This is a meditation that you can do as a beginner and you can add on to this. I'm going to do it so it doesn't take up a lot of time, but you can add things to it to make it longer, or you can, I know the resources I'm going to send you, there are some body scans on there that you could check out. There could be emotions or body sensations. So to provide yourself with a sense of pause, this is what this is going to help with. As a reminder, like I said before, mindful meditation has been shown to reduce blood pressure, heart rate, and it might slow your breathing a little bit, which it's designed to do. And since this experience does slow everything down, it could cause slight lightheadedness. So if you're feeling lightheadedness, dizziness, or visual blurring after you meditate, just sit where you are, allow your body time to reacclimate itself and come back into the present. If you're feeling it, you want to stay seated or lying down, don't panic. Just realize that it just might take you a few minutes to come out of that deep relaxation state. So be careful walking or getting up. This meditation too can really help you to identify stress and tension in your body. And pain is constituted by actual cause, either a physical or emotional, and it's perceived as pain, like anxiety and frustration could be associated with the pain too. Seeing actual cause of pain in its entirety during meditation and separating perceived pain can potentially help relieve the pain and the tension. It's not going to actually get rid of the cause of the pain. So if you have a pain in your leg from bursitis, it's not going to cure the bursitis, but it can lessen the intense emotional sensitivity to it by reducing emotional distress attached to the pain and the anxiety and dread, and maybe even a sense of hopelessness that you feel from this pain. And those who do not suffer from chronic pain also find this helpful in creating a sense of mind-body connection. So it helps you with that mind-body connection, and it helps you to better understand your body and have a sense of quietness. If you find that you scan a portion of your body during this meditation and it's difficult because it is painful, because it's like really pulling out where that painful area is, then just go back to the breathing meditation and continue to breathe as we talk through the class. Breathing is a great anchor, and it's a really good return point if you need to go back there. So if at any point during this body scan you feel you need to go back to just breathing, that's fine too. Again, it's what's good for you. So now, by now you should be really settled in your comfortable position. I want you to please close your eyes or use the picture for the focus on the screen, or direct your gaze down at one spot. We'll be using our breath to bring awareness to different parts of our body. And to do this, I'm going to instruct you to follow your breath as it enters your nose, traveling down your throat and into your lungs. Then you'll imagine it moving with a specific part of your body. You want to breathe normally as your awareness lingers on that area. Going to ask you to notice any sensation you might feel in the area of the body. I will instruct you to take a deep breath into that region and follow your breath out of your nose. We will then imagine following our breath into a different part of the body. Start by first concentrating just on your breath. So just like we did in the beginning, in the breathing exercise, we're breathing in and breathing out. Continue to just breathe in and out and focus on your breath. Now, when you are breathing, bring the awareness of your breath to the soles of both of your feet. Notice where your foot has contact with the floor or mat or blanket. Notice the sole of your foot and the heel of your foot. Remember to bring that breath in and then focus out on that body part. Now moving from the foot up to your knee in both legs. Imagine your breath in the lower leg. Your mind will wander away from the breath from time to time, which is normal. Just acknowledge this and redirect your thought to the back of your mind, bringing your breath back to the forefront by focusing on just breathing. On the next breath, when you're ready to move your focus to your upper leg region of both legs, notice the muscle in your legs and think about breathing while also thinking about the muscles of the leg. Notice any tension you may be experiencing. Now bring your attention to your pelvic area. Breathe into this region and notice how it balances the body and connects your upper and lower half. If you're sitting, observe the support it provides our bodies. As you continue to breathe, bring your attention through the length of your spine. Notice any tension, pressure, or other sensation in your spine. You may notice tingling as you recognize some parts of your body, or you may feel nothing at all. Any sensation is fine. Hold each sensation you feel in this process with gentle care for a moment or two. Now move the focus around to your abdomen and into your chest, noticing how your breath changes while it travels to those parts of your body. Now, once again, imagine your breath traveling the length of your spine, but this time expanding across your shoulders, your back, and the sides of your waist. When you breathe in this time, let your attention flow through your right shoulder, past your forearm, and into your hand. Notice the different part of your arm, like the forearm and elbow, as you focus from the fingertips to the shoulder. Notice all the sensations that are within and surrounding your right arm. And when you are ready, bring the same attention to the left shoulder and then the left arm. Take a moment and notice your neck that connects your spine to your head. Breathe in and out while focusing on that region. Gently move your attention to the back of your head. Move upward to the top of your head, and then to your forehead, and finally your eyes. Imagine your breath traveling into these areas and breathe gently in and out. Notice now your nose and mouth, the warmth of your mouth, or maybe the dryness of it, the location of your tongue and your teeth. Notice how your breath is flowing in and out of your nose. Continue to breathe in and breathe out. Now that you have scanned your body, take a few breaths and notice your body as a whole. Now, very slowly, take 3 deep breaths in at your own pace and open your eyes when you're ready. All right, as you're coming back into reality here. I hope that little pause helped you, and I hope it gave you some ideas as to things that, um, a way that you might be able to find some restfulness during your day. I find, in these times, I don't know if it's just me, but the workload has changed significantly, and how much we're doing. I feel like we're doing a lot more than we ever have been, and it's difficult. So I find that taking a little break like this midday really helps to energize me, and give me that focus and function to be able to go on throughout the day. And sometimes at night, if I miss doing it, when I get home, I feel a little overwhelmed, and I think it's because I haven't had that quiet time. So maybe find a time during the day, if it's your lunch hour, or maybe sometime during the day that you can sit quietly and do this. I know everybody's situation is different. If you're working in a cubicle or something, it might be a little harder. But maybe if you can put some earphones on, with some meditative music in the background or a guided meditation, it would help you. So just wanted to answer a few questions. Somebody put in the Q&A that they just started a new job working from home. And can you please tell me a quick mindful activity I can do when I feel overwhelmed to bring me back to the moment? So I would answer that question with definitely, to try one of the guided meditations I'm going to send to you, that you can do, but you can guide yourself too. So I really, like I said, I really love that guided meditation. I don't know if any of you felt tingly in certain spots, like, when you're thinking of your fingers, you feel the tingling. It just really feels like it grounds me. So you could do a body scan like that from one of the links I'm going to send you, or you could do just that breathing exercise. Breathing, I always do it before I have an interview or a presentation or something that's going to make me nervous. If you breathe in and out 10 times, kind of get real deep, nice flowing breaths, that helps to get your body flowing, your endorphins flowing, and kind of calm you down a little bit. So even if you're taking a few deep breaths, but if you're having a hard time focusing at home, I know when I first started working from home at the beginning of the pandemic, it was really difficult. And it was hard to stay focused. There was 5 of us working in the house at the same time. So it was very chaotic. So it was hard to find that quiet time to do that. But if you can do it, it's great. And hopefully the links I'm going to send you will have a whole bunch of different people on there, because I know sometimes people's voices, I have a thing with people chewing or swallowing, and I had one and the guy was swallowing a lot on it. So that was like bothersome to me. So find one that's comfortable for you. But the one link I'm going to send you will have quite a few options on there. So hopefully you can find something there, but keep shopping around, because there's plenty out there. Hey, Ralph, I see you're here. I saw on the thing. Welcome. Okay, so we got the analogy. Thank you. Somebody sending prayers and good chi and healthy, grateful to attend. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. So somebody's asking, how long did it take you to become successful? Meaning me, I guess, at this. I'm not successful yet. I'm still trying. And again, it's a practice. It's something that you have to do very regularly. It's like training your mind as the muscle. So it's something that you want to stay in practice with. I find if I don't do it regularly, I'm out of practice and it's harder. And I feel if I stay in practice and try to do it regularly, it does keep me much more balanced. So I would say the more you could do it, the better. And take every little bit that you do that you find relaxation in as a success. So that's great. Julie also put in the chat that there's a free meditation and mindful workshop series that you can register for. She put that in the chat. So you're welcome to go there and try that. And again, try different things, because everybody has a different way of doing things. Let's see. So somebody said that World Tai Chi Ongang, I don't know if I'm saying that, is the last Saturday in April, and it has a lot of groups in the nation. 85 nations participate in it. So that's a great way to send a wave of peace to the world. I love it. Yeah. And Tai Chi is, yoga and Tai Chi are great ways of movement and of finding that grounding in meditation. I'm glad that you enjoyed the body scan. And like I said, I'll send more out. Somebody says Insight Timer is a good free meditation app. Yeah. And again, you don't have to spend a lot of money to do this. There's a lot of good free stuff out there that you can use. And I encourage you to use the free stuff because there's no sense in paying for it, right? You don't want to add stress to your life by paying for, we already have so much that we're all paying for right now with all the prices going up. So it's a good thing to have that free stuff. So take advantage of the free things. I'm going to send you some more of them. I do want to show you, I think I have my references included. Yeah, I have some references on here that you can check out, but I used a lot of what I've gotten from the guided meditations for adults that I cited a lot in here. But there's a lot of from Patel, Jewell, and Rhodes. They're from Maryland Extension. So they're like me in Maryland, people that do that in Maryland. They wrote a great resource guide that is available online. And that's where I got it. I watched one of their seminars at a national convention we were at together. So you can check that out if you're so inclined, and I will send the other ones out. And here's my contact information if you want to check out the calendars. Lenora in our office has always done an awesome job of keeping up with our Facebook and our web pages. And she and Jackie in our office are working together to make sure we have good educational material on there too as well. So I encourage you to go check out, recipes and mindfulness calendars and living well calendars and all the great things we have going up there. So ideas for that. So